specifically a Duval special. 31-28 is your final. KC came out punching first to a 14-0 lead, but we found ourselves tied at 14, and then it opened up late. The Jags get the last laugh and improve to 4-1 to start the Liam Cohen era. Joe Musso, Bryant McFadden, Emery Hunt here to explore, and I don't know where you guys like to start. I think we might have some coaching points on both the winning and losing side of this one, but Jacksonville gets it done. Not pretty in moments. The game management begs question, but how did the Jags pull this off, Mac?
Well, playing smarter, cleaner football than the Kansas City Chiefs. You look at the penalty ratio. I mean, Kansas City had 13 penalties for 109 yards. Jacksonville was nowhere close to having double-digit penalties. That always will put you in a position to win ball games. And just the opportunistic play. During the pregame show, if you guys didn't watch, you missed a treat. We kind of gave you the rundown of what you should expect to see. Following the Jacksonville Jaguars defensively the entire season, they have been consistent in doing what? Creating turnovers, punching Wilson away, stealing Wilson from the opposing team, and being able to give it to their offense. That was a defining play by arguably the defensive player of the year in the first month of the season, and Devin Lloyd, playing the eyes of Pat Mahomes, creating a turnover, not just creating a turnover inside the red zone area, but putting points on the scoreboard for his team. That was a defining moment. It was basically a 14-point swing in terms of where the game was with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We are of the mixtape era, so it was about party starting. Who's going to start the party? Devin Lloyd started the party for this Jaguars football team because he knew the offense was having its issues in trying to find some consistency to put the ball in the end zone. So, you know what? I'm not just going to go down. I'm not just going to go out of bounds. I'm going to bring this thing all the way back for a touchdown. And what I love about this game for Jacksonville, it shows you they can win ugly. Because normally when teams that we question with
Chiefs Kingdom, let's talk about it. 31-28, that was the final. And yeah, this one stings because Kansas City came out hot, up 14-0, looking every bit like the machine we know they can be. But somehow, the same team that started the night on fire walked off the field watching Jacksonville dance. You could feel it, that mix of disbelief and frustration. We've seen tough losses before, but this one felt avoidable. The panel said it's great. Kansas City had 13 penalties for 109 yards. That number tells the story. This wasn't about getting outplayed. It was about losing focus. 13 flags, 109 yards. That's not Chiefs football. That's not Andy Reid football. That's a team beating itself. Every penalty chipped away at momentum, at rhythm, at confidence. And in games like this, the little things become the big things. Then came the gut punch, the one that changed everything. Devin Lloyd, playing the eyes of Patrick Mahomes, reading the route perfectly, jumping it, and taking it all the way back. The analysts called it a 14-point swing. They weren't wrong. A red zone chance turned into a defensive touchdown. You could hear the air leave the stadium. Mahomes rarely makes those mistakes, and that's why it hit so hard, because when it happens, you know something's off. That play flipped the energy of the night, from confidence to chaos. Jacksonville started believing, and the Chiefs started pressing. The rhythm disappeared, the timing felt off, and the penalties kept piling up like a slow bleed. Still, it wasn't over, because if there's one thing we know about this team, it's that they never go quietly. But late in the fourth, when Kansas City needed one last stop, one final stand, something strange happened. Spags dialed up an all-out blitz, 3rd and 13. The analysts hated it. They said, "You told everyone in the stadium you were bringing pressure." They were right. Trevor Lawrence saw it, recognized it, and hit the exact spot he needed to. That's experience. That's composure. And in that moment, Kansas City helped him. They simplified the read. It's a rare mistake from a brilliant defensive mind, but it cost him dearly. Because that drive sealed the game, and when Lawrence ran it in after tripping and scrambling, it felt symbolic. The Jags kept fighting through mistakes, and the Chiefs kept getting in their own way. But here's the truth that matters. This loss, as brutal as it was, doesn't define Kansas City. It reveals them. It shows what still needs tightening. 13 penalties, a red zone turnover, a defensive call that gave too much away. These are correctable. These are fixable. What's unfixable is heart, and this team still has plenty of that. CBS said it best near the end. The loss is also a learning experience for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's exactly what it is, because we've been here before. We've seen this team stumble in October and rise in January. We've seen them lose winnable games, only to turn those lessons into Super Bowl fuel. When you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you always believe. Because that's what a dynasty does. It adjusts, it recalibrates, it learns. Tonight was one that slipped through the fingers, yes, but it's also one that sharpens the grip for what's next. Mahomes still threw for over 300 yards and 50 rushing. The offense moved the ball. The creativity was there in flashes, but the discipline wasn't. Reid's play calling still had brilliance, but the execution lagged behind. And the defense, for all its grit, blinked when it couldn't afford to. But this team has earned the benefit of belief, because every time they've been knocked down, they've come back stronger. So what do we take away from this 31-28 heartbreak? Simple. It's a warning shot to themselves. They know they can't rely on talent alone. They know the AFC is getting hungrier. They know that every mistake, every flag, every blitz that misses, it all matters. And if this game did anything, it reminded the Chiefs what they are when they're not locked in, and what they can be when they are. Chiefs Kingdom, take this one personally, because so will they. The panel said it perfectly at the end. Some soul searching to be done, but we know they have a way of refining in season. That's the truth. Kansas City doesn't panic, they polish. The dynasty isn't dead, it's annoyed, and that's when they're most dangerous. So tell me, Chiefs fans, what do you think? Was this loss about focus, play calling, or just bad luck? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you still believe, and subscribe to Chiefs Kingdom Report, because this story isn't over. The next chapter starts now, and it's gonna be loud.